Picture this for a moment. You step out of your front door on a bright morning. You've walked this path hundreds of times before. The driveway is familiar. The sidewalk hasn't changed. Yet somehow, your footing feels less certain than it used to. Not because you're weak, not because you're getting old, and not because your balance has suddenly disappeared. In many cases, it's because of one surprisingly common walking mistake that quietly develops after the age of 70. What's fascinating is that most people never realize they're doing it. They assume slower walking is simply part of aging. They blame their knees, their hips, or their energy levels. Meanwhile, the real issue continues day after day, gradually making walking feel harder, less stable, and far more dangerous than it needs to be. I'm Dr. and for years I've worked with older adults who wanted one simple thing: to stay independent, confident, and on their feet. If you enjoy practical health advice designed specifically for adults over 70, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss future videos. Now let's talk about the mistake. I call it the short track walking pattern. Imagine a train moving along a railroad track. When the track is long and smooth, the train glides efficiently. But if sections of the track become shorter and uneven, the ride becomes jerky, unstable, and inefficient. Your walking pattern works in a very similar way. Many adults over 70 begin taking shorter and shorter steps without realizing it. At first, this seems harmless. In fact, it often feels safer. A shorter step may feel more controlled. It may feel more cautious. It may even feel like you're reducing your chances of falling, but your body interprets those short steps differently. When your stride becomes too short, several important systems start working against each other. Your hips stop extending properly, your ankle push-off becomes weaker, your balance reactions become slower, and your center of gravity begins hovering in a position that actually makes you less stable. That's the hidden irony. The adjustment many people make to feel safer can gradually make walking less efficient and less secure. You know the feeling. You stand up after sitting for a while. You begin walking. Your steps feel tiny. Your body feels stiff. You almost seem to shuffle for the first few moments. For many viewers, that experience isn't caused by weakness alone. It's caused by the short track walking pattern becoming your body's default setting. There's another consequence. When your stride shortens excessively, your body stops using the powerful muscles in the back of your hips as effectively. These muscles are among the most important stability muscles you have. They act like guide ropes on a suspension bridge. When they're active, your body moves smoothly and confidently. When they're underused, every step becomes slightly less controlled. Over weeks and months, those tiny differences add up. Walking feels more tiring. Turning becomes less comfortable. Uneven ground feels intimidating. You may even begin avoiding activities you once enjoyed, and that matters. Because mobility isn't just about movement, it's about freedom. It's about being able to visit friends, spend time with grandchildren, shop independently, and continue living in the home you love. The encouraging news is that this walking mistake is highly correctable. You don't need expensive equipment, you don't need intense workouts, and you certainly don't need to walk miles every day. Instead, you need to retrain your body to reclaim a more natural walking rhythm. I'm going to show you 3 simple corrections that can help restore a stronger, safer stride and improve the way your body moves with every step. Now, let's talk about how to fix the short track walking pattern. The goal isn't to walk faster. The goal isn't to take giant steps. The goal is to help your body rediscover a smoother, more natural stride that improves stability and confidence. We'll do that through 3 simple corrections. Each one takes only a few minutes and can be practiced safely at home. Let's begin with the first correction. Correction number 1, the long reach step. Stand near a sturdy countertop, hallway railing, or solid chair for support. Take a slow step forward with one foot. As you step, focus on reaching slightly farther than your normal stride. Not dramatically farther, just enough that the movement feels deliberate rather than automatic. The reason this works is simple. Many people over 70 allow their stride length to shrink without realizing it. This exercise reminds your nervous system what a healthy step feels like. Think of it as recalibrating a measuring tape that has slowly retracted over time. Practice 10 slow steps forward and 10 steps back. Take your time. Quality matters much more than speed. One common mistake is overreaching. If the step feels uncomfortable or forces you to lunge forward, you've gone too far. Comfortable control is the goal. After a few days, many people notice that ordinary walking begins to feel smoother without even thinking about it. Now let's move to the second correction. Correction number 2, the push-off drill. This exercise restores one of the most overlooked parts of walking, the push from the back foot. When you watch confident walkers, you'll notice something interesting. Their back foot actively pushes them forward. It's subtle, but it's powerful. Many adults lose this movement over time. Instead of pushing forward, they simply place one foot in front of the other. As a result, walking becomes more passive and less stable. To practice this drill, stand beside a counter for support. Take a slow step forward. Before lifting your back foot, gently press the ball of that foot into the floor. Feel your calf and ankle engage, then continue the step. Repeat for 10 to 15 slow repetitions. Imagine squeezing the last bit of toothpaste from a tube. That gentle finishing pressure is exactly what you're looking for. This small action helps activate muscles that contribute to balance, propulsion, and walking efficiency. The most common mistake is rushing. Many people focus only on moving their feet. Instead, pay attention to the push that starts the movement. That push is where much of your walking power originates. Now for the third correction. This may be the most important one of all. Correction number 3, the tall string walk. Picture a string attached to the top of your head. That string is gently lifting you upward toward the ceiling, not stiff, not rigid, just tall and relaxed. Many adults begin walking with a slight forward lean. Sometimes it develops because of stiffness. Sometimes it comes from years of cautious movement. Regardless of the cause, that forward lean can shift your center of gravity into a less stable position. The tall string walk helps correct this. Choose a hallway in your home. Walk slowly for 20 to 30 steps. As you walk, imagine the invisible string lifting you upward. Keep your eyes looking ahead rather than down at your feet. Allow your shoulders to stay relaxed. The simple mental image often produces immediate improvements. Your stride naturally lengthens. Your breathing becomes easier. Your body moves with greater efficiency. One mistake to avoid is pulling your shoulders backward aggressively. Good posture isn't military posture. You're aiming for relaxed height, not stiffness. These 3 corrections work together beautifully. The long reach step restores stride length. The push-off drill restores walking power. The tall string walk restores alignment. Combined, they help reverse the short track walking pattern that develops in so many adults after 70. A quick safety note before continuing. If you have severe balance difficulties, recent falls, or significant dizziness, perform these exercises near a stable support surface and consider having someone nearby during your first few practice sessions. The goal is confidence, not risk. What surprises many people is how quickly these corrections can influence daily movement, not because they magically strengthen every muscle overnight, but because they help your body remember movement patterns it already knows. Walking is one of the most practiced skills of your entire life. Sometimes your body simply needs a gentle reminder of how to do it efficiently again. We'll talk about how to make these corrections part of your daily routine, why major medical institutions pay close attention to walking patterns, and how a few minutes each day can help protect your independence for years to come. At this point, you might be wondering something important. How long does it take before these walking corrections actually make a difference? The answer may surprise you. Many people notice small improvements almost immediately. Not dramatic transformations, not overnight miracles, but subtle changes that signal the body is moving in a better direction. A step feels smoother. A hallway walk feels more comfortable. Standing up and getting moving feels less awkward. Those small victories matter because confidence often returns before major physical changes do. And confidence changes behavior. When walking feels uncertain, many people naturally begin limiting their movement. They skip walks, they avoid stairs, they stay home more often. Over time, less movement creates even more weakness. It's a cycle that quietly steals independence. The goal of today's walking corrections is to interrupt that cycle before it gains momentum. Think of these exercises as daily maintenance for your body's transportation system. Just as a car performs best when it's driven regularly and maintained properly, your walking system responds best when it's used with purpose. The good news is that you don't need a complicated routine. In fact, simplicity works best. One practical approach is what I call the first walk reset. Each morning, before your longest walk of the day, spend just 3 to 5 minutes practicing the 3 corrections we covered. Start with 10 long reach steps, follow with 10 push-off drill repetitions, finish with 20 to 30 tall string walk steps. That's it. The entire routine takes less time than brewing a pot of coffee. Yet it reminds your muscles, joints, and nervous system how efficient walking is supposed to feel. Many viewers find it helpful to attach this routine to an existing habit, perhaps after brushing your teeth, perhaps while waiting for breakfast, perhaps immediately before taking the dog outside. When a new habit is connected to an existing one, consistency becomes much easier, and consistency is where the real results begin to appear. Another reason these corrections matter is that walking quality often predicts future mobility better than people realize. Healthcare professionals frequently pay close attention to walking patterns because they reveal how multiple body systems are working together. Balance, strength, coordination, reaction time, joint mobility. Walking quietly reflects all of them. Researchers and clinicians at respected institutions such as the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Health have long emphasized the importance of maintaining healthy mobility as we age. Not simply because walking is exercise, but because walking independence is closely connected to overall quality of life. That connection is powerful. When you move confidently, you participate more fully in life. You visit family more often. You enjoy social activities. You remain engaged with the world around you. You maintain choices. And choices are one of the greatest forms of independence. Perhaps most importantly, improving your walking pattern doesn't require becoming an athlete. You don't need to train like you did at 20. You don't need perfect knees. You don't need endless energy. You simply need to give your body opportunities to move more efficiently than it did yesterday. Progress often arrives through small adjustments repeated consistently. A slightly longer step, a stronger push-off, a taller posture, tiny improvements that accumulate week after week. Months from now, those improvements can become meaningful differences in confidence and stability. There is something else worth remembering. Aging does not automatically mean surrendering control. Yes, the body changes. Yes, certain movements may require more attention than they once did. But many of the factors that influence mobility remain highly trainable. Your brain continues learning. Your muscles continue adapting. Your balance system continues responding to practice. That should be encouraging, because it means today's effort can influence tomorrow's freedom. Imagine walking through a grocery store with greater confidence. Imagine visiting grandchildren without worrying about every uneven surface. Imagine feeling steady when you step outside your front door. Those outcomes are not built from one giant decision. They are built from small daily actions repeated over time. The 3 walking corrections we discussed today are simple. Yet simple does not mean insignificant. Often, the most effective habits are the ones that fit naturally into everyday life. Before we finish, I'd love to hear from you. Which of the 3 corrections do you think will help you the most? The long reach step, the push-off drill, or the tall string walk? Share your answer in the comments below. Your experience may encourage someone else who is working toward the same goal. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with a friend or family member, and subscribe for more practical strategies designed specifically for adults over 70. Thank you for spending these minutes with me today. Take care of your steps, and your steps will help take care of your freedom.